We will now continue with the high-level segment. As the first speaker, I have the honor to give the floor to His Excellency Emil Hurezeanu, Minister for Foreign Affairs of Romania. You have the floor, Excellency.
Monsieur le Président, Monsieur le Commissaire.
Mr. President, Commissioner of Human Rights, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I am here before you today supporting the universality of human rights at a time when there is a backsliding and revisionism. The world around us is a very unpeaceful stage, one that cannot tolerate any dissonance with human rights. I must then address to you with a message to support intangible values that arise from our shared history. We're going through a period characterized by overlapping crises that jeopardize democracy and make human rights fragile. Retrogression in fundamental rights, the increased use of hate speech mean that we need urgent collective responses. To face these challenges, we must defend our traditional universal values and recall that dignity is not relative or regional. They don't have geographic limitations. They are not just the purview of Western countries. It's a message for all, whatever their history or their cultural heritage may be. We must work towards striking an international balance that can strengthen our shared values. We must go beyond political statements and have dialogues to find solutions. This means constant engagement for dialogue, for cooperation, and transparency. This is where we can strengthen the Council and ensure that its work remains relevant, credible, and effective.
We stand at a critical crossroads. The world is witnessing an alarming erosion of human rights, deepened by armed conflicts, democratic backsliding, and humanitarian crisis. The very principles we uphold in this forum, universality, impartiality, and accountability, are being tested like never before. Nevertheless, there is no alternative to multilateralism. It remains the key to solving global problems. And I would like to quote the Secretary General, who said that human rights are the constant in addressing these problems and in the search of solutions. Romania has a long-standing tradition and strong attachment to multilateral diplomacy. We take great pride in being a member of this Council and one of its vice presidents, and we seek to encourage partnerships across regions, meaningful dialogue, and a principled approach to human rights. We believe in political cooperation and intercultural understanding, with the underlying philosophy that difference does not exclude dialogue. We see this Council as a venue to defend the great causes of this century: women's rights, the right to a healthy environment, freedom of expression, protection of human rights defenders, reigning in the digital world, putting an end to impunity. We want to work with all partners to foster democracy, human rights, and the rule of law, to protect and promote human rights of women and girls, to counter discrimination, xenophobia, racism, and anti-Semitism, and to enable freedom of expression. This session, we will put forward a resolution that reinforces the link between the education of our citizens and the strength of our democracies, with the trust that the Forum on Human Rights, Democracy and Rule of Law of next year will allow for inclusive exchanges that will help strengthen the resilience of our democratic societies. We make it a priority to support the High Commissioner and his office to be independent and effective, to work to prevent human rights violations and to secure respect for all human rights. We'll continue to defend all special procedures, mandates, and independent monitoring missions that seek to bring truth and justice, redress and remedy to the victims. Finally, we'll support the President this year in all his endeavours to strengthen the Human Rights Council, to make it more efficient, effective, less polarised, and more prone to dialogue.
Dear colleagues, as we recently saw the 3rd anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, I would like to restate our support to the independence, territorial integrity, and sovereignty of Ukraine within internationally recognized borders. We must work together to underscore the great value of protecting human rights in Ukraine through a future peace. We would like to convey our deep concern given the ongoing severe violations of human rights documented by the Independent International Inquiry Commission on Ukraine. The work of independent experts is further proof of the cynical contempt that Russia has for human rights, rights that we are here to defend. No effort should be spared in order to ensure that those responsible for the crimes perpetrated by the Russian Federation in Ukraine are held accountable and that the many victims have reparations. Thank you.